picked a wrong day.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to another eShop Deals video, where every week we go through the Nintendo Switch eShop and we try to look at some of the best games currently on sale. Now today's video will be a little different, primarily because Black Friday is right around the corner. And all the games in today's video are definitely what I would call an early Black Friday sale, because they are all games hitting brand new lows. And the likelihood of them dropping again just a few days after the sale ends is highly unlikely for Black Friday. Just as every year, this is primarily some indie developers trying to beat the hustle of Black Friday and get their games noticed before they're lost in the huge sales. Now, just as usual, we will be giving away a $10 eShop gift card about halfway through the video. Just remember that to participate in those giveaways, all you need to do is be subscribed to the channel, drop a comment down below, and then check out the next video to see if you won. At the end of the video, if you're also looking for other great deals, you can always check the description down below, because I always link the most recent eShop Deals videos there. A lot of those deals are still running today, and I just don't go over them 2 videos in a row. Now let's not waste any more time and jump straight in. Just remember, if you are liking the content, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you aren't already. So our first game for today is going to be My Time at Portia, that is now 90% off, only $2.99, and running till November 26th. Now this game is a charming and engaging life simulation RPG. Yes, sort of like Stardew Valley. And you are brought into a post-apocalyptic world set in the town of Portia, where you are tasked with restoring your father's dilapidated workshop and bringing it back to its former glory. The gameplay is a mix of farming, crafting, and exploration, with a strong emphasis on building relationship with the townsfolk. So you can expect to be spending your time gathering resources, mining for materials, and battling creatures in the colorful lands surrounding Portia. With these resources, you can then craft new items, tools, expand your workshop, and even construct buildings to help the town flourish. Although we've seen a ton of games in this genre, this one is nonetheless a very solid entry, and at only $3, it is definitely a great pickup. Our next game is going to be Monster Sanctuary, that is 75% off, $4.99, this one once again running till November 26th. Now this game is a unique blend of the monster collecting RPG and a side-scrolling platformer. And it is once again set in a richly detailed world where humans and monsters coexist. And in the game, you'll be embarking on a quest as a monster keeper, exploring a Metroidvania-inspired map filled with hidden paths, treasures, and challenges. Now, the gameplay really revolves around building and managing a team of monsters, each with its own skill tree and abilities. Combat is turn-based and strategic, really encouraging you to leverage your monster's strengths, but also very much focused on synergy. So if you're worried about this just being another Pokemon clone, trust me, both the battles and adventuring feel very different. Overall, this was even a great game at its full price. For $5 today, another amazing pickup. Now next, we have the Klonoa Phantasy Reverie series also hitting a brand new low of 70% off, $11.99, this one running till November 20th. Now this game is the remake or remaster of a 2.5D action platformer. And it's set in the dreamlike worlds of Klonoa, where you're playing a cat-rabbit dream traveler, and your mission is to maintain balance and peace. Now, although the gameplay remains true to its 2D platforming roots, it does offer a unique twist where the linear paths bend and weave through the environment, creating an illusion of 3D movement. The most important and unique mechanic here is the wind bullet mechanic, that requires players to inflate enemies and use them as either projectiles or as a means to execute a double jump and navigate through the cleverly designed levels. Now, although the game is fairly simple in its platforming, it does introduce a layer of complexity with puzzles that require thoughtful use of that wind bullet mechanic. So if you're looking for a brand new 2D action platformer with strong visuals and gameplay, at $11.99, this double pack of games is going to be a great pickup. Now, our next game hitting a brand new low is the House of the Dead Remake, that is now 75% off, $6.24, and this one running till November 23rd. Now this game is a reimagining of the classic 1997 rail shooter arcade game, and it's an attempt to revitalize the iconic title with upgraded graphics, controls, and gameplay mechanics, all the while preserving the fast-paced zombie shooting action that made the original a cult favorite. Now the storyline here is crazy and over the top, just as you would expect from a zombie-focused arcade shooter, and you are stepping into the shoes of agents Thomas Rogan and G as they investigate the sinister activities of the nefarious Dr. Kurian. I do want to mention that this game mainly does use motion controls for its aiming, and it is not necessarily the most responsive of control methods. I did, however, do 2 full playthroughs on stream, and you can always take a look to see how that went. The one thing I want to mention here is that although this is not the best control method, this game is still a ton of fun in my opinion. You just don't have to take it seriously as a high score chaser. And furthermore, if you play this game in couch co-op, it really becomes a nice over-the-top fun game to pick up. At its full sales price, some people were slightly disappointed by the quality, but at $6.24, this is an extremely fun pickup for this week. Our next game is one of my favorite picks of this whole sale, and that is Mighty Goose, that is also hitting a brand new low of 60% off, $7.99, this one running till November 16th. Now, Mighty Goose is a fast-paced run-and-gun shooter that pays homage to the classic titles in the genre, however with a modern twist. And you are taking on the role of the titular Mighty Goose, a bounty hunter with a beak for action and an arsenal to match. The game is set across a variety of colorful and chaotic worlds, each filled with enemies to blast, bosses to challenge, and secrets to uncover. Now, the gameplay really is a high-octane blend of shooting and dodging that reminded me a lot of Gunstar Heroes. And you are capable of unleashing a barrage of bullets, bombs, and also other special weapons. And even pilot vehicles, sort of like Metal Slug. Now, the controls are tight and responsive, allowing for precision movement and attacks, which are really crucial for navigating this type of game. But for me, what really made Mighty Goose stand out is its vibrant pixel art and graphics and a pumping soundtrack that really keeps the adrenaline flowing. With its over-the-top action, tongue-in-cheek humor, and a plethora of upgrades and collectibles, Mighty Goose really delivers a satisfying and explosive experience. In my opinion, this game is a real steal at only $7.99. Now it's time to take a quick break and announce the winner of today's $10 eShop gift card. And our winner for today is Nick Achunji, who said, "Wish Super Mario Bros. Wonder would go on sale." Although I wish that would happen as well, I'm just going to mention it's a very low likelihood that we're going to see this holiday season. Now all you need to do to claim your $10 eShop gift card is reach out to me in my pinned comment down below. Now if we jump straight back into our deals, our next one is going to be Marsupilami Hoobadventure that is now 70% off, $8.99, this one running till November 16th. Now this game is a colorful 2.5D platformer that takes inspiration from the classic comic book character Marsupilami. And in the game you can control 3 different Marsupilamis, either Punch, Twister, or Hope, as they journey through the Colombian jungle, coastal city, and abandoned temple to reverse a curse placed on the animals by a mysterious ghost. Now the game's level designs and gameplay sensibilities are very modern, reminiscent of a 2D platformer like Rayman Legends, featuring hidden collectibles and secret shortcuts that lead to bonus stages. Although some of the movements might seem more familiar to fans of the Donkey Kong Country series, while at the same time offering enough unique character movement to avoid the feeling of being excessively derivative. Now if hearing Donkey Kong Country has you worried, however the difficulty level of this game is much lower. And even in my case, I wish it would have kicked up a notch before the end of the game. Now this is a great game to pick up if you're looking for a more laid-back playthrough, or if you're offering it to a younger or less experienced player. Now this is one of those games that at full price, it did seem a little short for a $30 price tag. However, right now at $8.99, it feels like a perfect spot to be picking this one up. Our next game for today is one that hasn't been on sale for almost 2 years, and that is Fate Extella Link that is now 60% off, $19.99, and running till November 15th. Now this game is set in the universe that is shared with the wider Fate franchise, and it really is a combination of the lore of the Fate series with the hack and slash gameplay very reminiscent of the Dynasty Warrior series. Now you're jumping into a digital realm that are ruled by servants, heroic spirits that are drawn from historical, mythological, or literary fame, and you are fighting in an ongoing war for the control over the virtual world of Seraph. Now, as I mentioned earlier, the gameplay really is centered around fast-paced combat where players can choose a servant with unique abilities and fighting styles. You then engage in large-scale battles against hordes of enemies, executing powerful moves and chain combos to clear the field and challenge tougher foes, including the rival servants. Overall, this game offers a blend of thrilling combat, strategic gameplay, and a deep narrative that will appeal to fans of the Fate series and even action game fans alike. And as I said earlier, for the moment this is a game that really doesn't go on sale very often. Now next we have Chronicles of Two Heroes Amaterasu's Wrath that is 60% off, $8.79, this one running till November 20th. Now this game is a 2D Metroidvania-inspired action title that excels in delivering tight, pixel-perfect platforming and well-timed puzzle-solving gameplay. The game offers you control over two distinct characters, Kensei, the armored samurai, who despite his lack of mobility, possesses a fast dash technique for overcoming obstacles and gaps, and Ayame, a ninja who boasts greater agility with her ability to jump at will and attack from a distance. Now, the core mechanic of the game revolves around seamlessly switching between these two heroes to navigate through an array of traps and a growing roster of enemies, and this character switch-up is crucial for progression, with each major area of the game requiring the unique ability of one or the other of the heroes. I do want to mention, while I did have a ton of fun playing through this game, and it is very engaging, for example, some mechanics like the parry mechanic was slightly frustrating to use, and the navigation around the map could have definitely been clearer. All in all, however, if you're still looking for a nice mix of 2D pixel art action and puzzles, at 60% off, I do think this is definitely a nice pickup. Our next game for today is the Night Witch, that is now 50% off, $9.99, and running till November 12th. Now this game is the very original mix of a Metroidvania with the reflex-driven gameplay of a bullet hell shooter. The game is set in a subterranean world that is rich with lore, where you assume the role of Rane, a Night Witch who must defend her home against the resurgence of an ancient enemy. Now, I do want to mention that this is a very difficult game, so make sure you're ready before you decide to pick it up. Now, gameplay-wise, Reina's ability to fly replaces the traditional platforming with a focus on navigation and precision. And combat really is a blend of your primary fire and what are called spell cards. Now, this really does add a layer of unpredictability to the combat, and focuses on the need for strategy, but at the same time, fast-paced decisions. For me, the game's art style was a definite standout, featuring rich hand-drawn visuals that definitely bring the underground world to life. Lastly, this is also a game that I played on stream, so you can always check that out if you want a more first-hand perspective. But at 50% off, I really think this is another solid pickup for this week. And now, our last game for today is going to be Kaiju Wars, that is 40% off, $11.99, this one running till November 23rd. Now this game is a uniquely designed strategy game that cleverly combines humor with complex tactical gameplay. It is set in a world under siege by colossal kaiju, very reminiscent of the classic cinema of the genre, and you are tasked with defending your city against these towering threats. The game's retro graphics and mid-inspired soundtrack definitely evoke a sense of nostalgia, while the gameplay itself is anything but dated. And this game really is about strategically marshalling your limited military resources, which are often outmatched by the kaiju's might, to ultimately slow the monster's rampage across the city. The game really emphasizes the use of science and economy to outmaneuver the kaiju, with the need to balance the deployment of units and the construction of buildings like labs and airfields to support their defensive efforts. Once again, this is another game that introduces a card system that adds an element of unpredictability, with both the player and the AI drawing from decks that can alter the state of play in their favor. Ultimately, this is a great pickup for fans of strategy gameplay. So we're now at the end of today's eShop Deals video, and let me know what you thought in the comments down below. What games are you picking up for this week? Also, I want to give a huge shout out to my channel supporters. Their monthly support is so appreciated, and you can always check out all their names on the end screen of the video. Also, on the way out, don't forget, if you did like the video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you aren't already, and click on that notification bell so you know when all my future content comes out. And as usual, I hope I'll see you in my next video.